Well, the argument for the simulation, I think, is quite strong, because if you assume any improvements at all over time, any improvement, 1%, 0.1%, just extend the time frame, make it 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. A civilization, if you're very generous, civilization is maybe 7 or 8,000 years old. If you count it from the first writing. This is nothing. This is nothing. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then games will be indistinguishable from reality. Or civilization will end. One of those two things will occur. Anyway, I don't want to sound like things are too dark, because I think you kind of have to be optimistic about the future. There's no point in being pessimistic. It's just too negative. It doesn't help. You know, I think you want to be... my theory is you'd rather be optimistic. Akira The Don. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. At least we're on that side. Because if you're pessimistic, you're just going to be miserable. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Ultimately, even if we just sort of existed as humans forever, eventually there'll be the heat death of the universe a zillion years from now. Eventually it's going to end. It's just a question of when. So it really is all about the journey. The universe as we know it will dissipate into a fine mist of cold nothingness eventually. And I think it's really just about how can we make it last longer. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. I think most likely, this is just about probability, there are many, many simulations. These simulations are, we might as well call them reality, or we could call them multiverse. And they're running on the substrate. That substrate is probably boring. When we create a simulation, like a game or a movie, it's a distillation of what's interesting about life. It takes a year to shoot an action movie. And then that's all distilled down into 2 or 3 hours. So let me tell you, if you've seen an action movie being filmed, it's boring. Super boring. It takes lots of takes. Everything's in a green screen. Looks pretty goofy. Doesn't look cool. But once you add the CGI and have great editing, it's amazing. So I think most likely, if we're a simulation, it's really boring outside the simulation. Because why would you make a simulation that's boring? It makes a simulation way more interesting than base reality. When you're in that virtual reality, which is only going to get better, where are you? Where are you really? You aren't anywhere. You're in the computer.
Why do you think you're where you are right now? You might not be.
Right now you think you're in a studio in LA.
Akira.
You might be in a computer. Yeah. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right.